Hi everyone, it's Sunny here, and today we have a special video for you. We're diving into a world of intrigue, deception, and, of course, love. In this video, you'll see how the characters face tough decisions and learn from their mistakes. We'll discuss why the characters act the way they do and share advice that can help you in real life. Ready for an exciting journey? Then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos.
I zoomed past other cars, my foot hitting the accelerator at every turn, as my friend Vanessa screamed for her life. Just then, I saw this police car tailing us and pulled to the side. Just do as I say, okay?
Like I have a choice.
Shut it! Oh, hey, officer. Was I going too fast?
May I see your license, please?
Oh, sure, Officer Cutie.
It's Curie.
Oopsie, my bad. You know, I had this dream last night that I was stopped by a policeman, and we went to this cute place by the ocean and shared a cold latte, since it's so hot these days. I mean, talk about global warming. You think it's getting hot in here? I think it is. What do you think, Vanessa?
I think you should shut up.
I think so too. Now please step out of the car.
Wow, she's really nervous. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt this anxious? Remember, it's important to take deep breaths and stay calm.
Really? None of my flirting worked, huh? Then I guess I have no choice but to do this. And I stepped on the gas and sped the car away. Hi everyone, I'm Sage, and I'm about to tell you how I messed up my life. But before we get into that, please like and subscribe to MSA. I lived with my single mother and my twin sister Zoe in a small apartment in downtown New York. We didn't know anything about Dad, except that he was a loser who turned his back on Mom and left her totally heartbroken.
One day you're going to come back crawling and begging for forgiveness, and I will spit on your face and make you cry. Mark my words!
That never happened. And Mom never found her true love again. That didn't stop her from trying, though. She worked as a receptionist at this fancy resort outside town.
Her mom sounds like she's been through a lot. It's tough to see your parents struggle, isn't it? Let's hope things get better for them.
She met tons of new people. Every month, she would date some new guy who would break her heart, and she'd become a sobbing mess. Like this one time, when Zoe and I were 10, Mom started dating this Italian guy who left her because her pasta was too salty.
It's garbage.
At 13, there was a biker guy who thought it was a cool idea to teach Mom how to ride a bike. Needless to say, Mom fell, broke her arm, and couldn't work for weeks. And then, a year later, Mom met this Indian guy who even moved in with us.
Take a deep breath in. Now exhale. Now inhale. Now inhale and exhale at the same time.
It's 5 in the morning, dude. Can we speed this up?
Oh no, she's selling her jewelry for a scammer. Have you ever been tricked like this? It's important to be cautious with our money and who we trust.
Yoga is all about patience. The more you practice it, the better you get. Now, let's try again.
Ugh, so annoying. But Mom thought he was perfect and sold off her jewelry to invest in his stupid yoga retreat. But he just pocketed all the money and disappeared without a trace.
How could I be so stupid? We were planning to set up this cute bakery next to the yoga retreat. He'd teach yoga and I'd bake cookies.
You know yoga's a form of exercise, right? Cookies are kind of counterproductive.
Ugh, why are you like that?
Like what? Smart and practical?
No, mean and heartless. Can't you see Mom's in pain?
Maybe I was a bit heartless. Growing up poor makes you accept reality in a harsh way.
Zoe's ideas about beauty are a bit worrying. What do you think about this? Remember, true beauty comes from within, not from how we look.
But with Zoe, it was different. She was delulu. Thanks to Mom and her awful choice in men, she grew up thinking that the only way to have a good life was to get your hooks into someone rich and successful.
I was reading this fashion blog and they said if I sleep with a clothespin on my nose, I'll get the perfect upturned nose like most rich people have.
That's the stupidest thing I've heard. Your nose is just fine.
Can't hurt to make it better. And what do you know about fashion and skincare?
She even tried poking her cheeks with pencils so she'd get dimples. When that failed, she turned to stupid home remedies.
It's just getting worse before it gets better, right?
What do I know about fashion and skincare? So, yeah, Zoe and I were poles apart, and Mom was always weird.
Things are getting tough for them. Have you ever had to take on extra responsibilities to help your family? It's important to support each other in difficult times.
And things just got worse when we turned 18. Mom met some guy at her resort, fell in love, and a week later they got married and moved to Spain. She promised to stay in touch, but all we got were a few bucks and occasional phone calls. With bills piling up, Zoe and I had to pick up housekeeping jobs at the resort. The pay wasn't great, but it was enough to cover school. We even got a room to stay in, which was a huge downgrade from our apartment. Okay, we need to make this work. Zoe, you take the broom and I'll dust the shelves.
I just got a manicure done, so count me out.
Where did you get the money? Wait, have you been using my savings?
Yeah, but think of it as an investment in our future.
Zoe's not being very helpful. What would you do if you were Sage? Communication and teamwork are key in situations like this.
See, what if tomorrow I run into some rich bachelor who asks me out, then falls madly in love with me, and we get married? And when we move to our fancy new house, I'll even set up a place for you in the garage, where you can stay with your girlfriend and cats.
What girlfriend?
Your girlfriend, silly. You don't need to stay in the closet forever. It's 2024.
I'm not gay, Zoe. I just don't have time for stupid boys. Now help me, or I'll make you sleep on the floor. The next few days were tough. I woke up extra early, worked my shift, went to school, came back, worked again, and passed out. But Zoe barely showed up at work and was more busy flirting with some guy or the other. And then, on the night of our graduation party, Zoe and I were getting ready when I spotted this huge diamond ring on her finger.
Uh-oh? That ring looks expensive. Do you think Zoe should have taken it? It's important to respect other people's property.
Where did you get this from?
I bought it?
By selling your kidneys?
Ugh, stop yelling. Okay, fine. I found this lying by the sink in a room I was cleaning today, so I borrowed it for the party tonight. And don't worry, the guest isn't going to be back before tomorrow morning, so I have plenty of time to put it back.
And what if they come back early, realize their $1 million rock is missing, and they trace it right to you?
Why would they assume it's me?
Because you're a maid, and the maid is always the thief. Who else would go in the room?
Oh my God, you're right. How did I not think about that? Oh, they'll catch me and throw me in jail. I'm too pretty to go to jail. Plus, no rich guy will marry an ex-convict. My life will be over before it even begins.
Sage is trying to fix Zoe's mistake. Have you ever had to clean up after someone else's mess? It's important to take responsibility for our actions.
Just shut up for 2 minutes. Zoe told me the room number, and I double-checked at the reception, and thankfully, the guest was still out. This was the perfect chance to put the ring back. So I tiptoed my way across the hall, popped out the master key, and was about to open the door, when suddenly, my eyes fell on the most perfect guy ever. His beautiful black hair matched his perfectly fitting tuxedo, and he radiated elegance and confidence with his walk. I was sure he was an important guest, but then he stopped right next to me.
Almost expect you to be ready on time.
You're talking to me?
Do you see anyone else around? Let's leave, shall we?
Leave for...
Our date?
Oh wow, she's meeting Carter. Do you think she should go along with this? It's important to be honest, but also to be kind.
I'm Carter. Our dad set us up. Vanessa, I thought you had seen my picture. I went to see yours, but you're not on social media, and your dad said you hate getting photographed. But I have your room number, 709, so it's gotta be you. Unless you lurk around other people's rooms for some reason.
No! Why would I do that? Of course it's me. I am she, Vanessa. And yes, of course, I've seen your picture, but you have one of those faces that isn't very memorable. A complete lie.
Okay, we have a reservation at the pier. I don't want to lose the table. So let's go?
I smiled weakly as Carter led me to his chauffeur-driven car. Had I just panicked and ended up on someone else's blind date?
This date is so awkward. What would you do if you were in Sage's place? It's important to be true to ourselves, even in uncomfortable situations.
At one of the fanciest French restaurants in town? I quickly texted Zoe to go to the graduation party without me as we were led to our table. I was overwhelmed by the freaking number of forks on the table, and I couldn't understand anything on the menu. I just let Carter order for me, and we made awkward small talk and then fell silent. Good Lord, I'd never imagined a date with a gorgeous guy could be this painful.
So, Vanessa's a lovely name.
Yeah, I guess. I've never met a Vanessa. Except myself. I'm actually named after Venice. Do you like Venice?
It's nice, yes, but I like skiing more. I travel a lot, actually. It's my way of taking a break.
A break from what?
You know, endless meetings, parties, interviews where I get asked a lot of dumb questions like what do I eat in a day, how much do I work out.
Carter's life sounds exhausting. Do you think he appreciates what he has? It's important to be grateful for our blessings.
How many girlfriends I have, etc., etc. And I had to answer all that to keep up a certain image, of course. But this life can be very exhausting. You know what I mean?
Frankly, no. You sound like you don't appreciate how lucky you are.
What do you mean?
I mean, look at that waiter, for example. He works his butt off every day trying to make just enough for his rent. You think his life is easy? But he still smiles and serves you. Isn't that exhausting?
Maybe, but that's what he gets paid for. It's his job.
So he's not allowed to be tired because he works for a wage? But you, riding around in chauffeur-driven cars, living in fancy houses, dining in the best restaurants, you can be tired because you have to attend a few meetings and answer a few questions.
Sage is standing up for herself. What do you think about her speech? It's important to express our feelings and stand up for what we believe in.
Don't you think that's a bit hypocritical?
I hadn't really thought about that.
Then maybe you should. Anyway, I gotta go.
But you haven't even touched your food.
I'm not hungry anymore. And I just left without another word and hailed a cab back to the resort. When I got there, I realized that I still had the ring on me. So I decided to give my luck a second chance and tiptoed my way to Vanessa's room, carefully avoiding all the cameras. I swiped the key, gently turned the knob, and walked in, when suddenly someone jumped on me and pinned me to the ground.
Who are you? And why did you just sneak into my room? And why are you wearing my ring? Speak up!
I will, if you just get off me. Thankfully, Vanessa agreed to listen, and I spilled everything about the ring, Carter, and the blind date. I thought she'd call security immediately.
She's going back to return the ring. Do you think she'll get caught? It's important to make things right, even if it's scary.
But instead, she burst out laughing.
Do you have any idea how much I tried to get out of that date? Phew, you did me a huge favor.
Does that mean you won't be pressing charges?
That depends. You see, I moved to France with my grandma at 5 because my dad wanted to marry a kid-hating bimbo. But now she's left him, so he wants me to come back home. Problem is, I don't want to. I have my whole life in France, including my boyfriend Jean-Pierre. And Dad hates him. He wants me to date Carter or he'll cut me off. And since Carter thinks you're Vanessa, you'll just have to date him in my place.
Wow, you rich folks are complicated.
Vanessa's not mad. That's a surprise. Have you ever been forgiven when you expected to be in trouble? It's important to show compassion and understanding.
And I can't do that because it's stupid and I'm pretty sure that guy hates me.
Really? Then why did he send me a text asking to meet him again? Listen, just make this Carter guy go away.
What if I say no?
Then your sister will rot in jail and you will lose this job.
But what about my work?
I'll pay you. Does $500,000 sound good?
Sounds great. Vanessa and I shook on it, and that night, I couldn't sleep a wink thinking about how this money could change everything for me and Zoe. But I was pretty nervous about fooling some rich, powerful guy. I wanted to share my doubts with Zoe, but I knew she was a tattletale, so I kept quiet. And the next morning, Vanessa woke me up at 6 and told me that Carter was on his way to take me to a derby match. Is there a reason why I'm dressed like Mary Poppins' cousin?
Sage agreed to the plan. What do you think will happen next? It's important to think about the consequences of our actions.
I get that you want him to hate me, but this dress makes me hate me.
The idea is to make you look undateable, and this dress is perfect for that. Now remember, make this the worst day of Carter's life. He should be calling my dad and telling him that I'm a monster. Now go make me proud.
I left the hotel and greeted Carter at the gate, half expecting him to say something about my dress, but he just smiled and complimented me. Was he blind?
Sorry, I think we kinda got off on the wrong foot last night.
Can we do this in the car, please? The heat is making me dizzy.
Sure.
For the rest of the ride, Carter kept trying to talk to me, but I just pretended to be busy on my phone. Soon after, we reached the derby stands and were about to take our seats when I put my plan into motion.
Carter's being really nice. Do you think Sage should feel guilty for deceiving him? It's important to be honest in our relationships.
Carter! Can you get me something to drink? I'm parched.
But the race is about to start.
You're right. I'll just go and get it myself.
No, wait! I'll get it.
Oh, thanks. Carter pushed through the crowd and came back with a massive cup of soda. I took one look at it and screamed. It has no ice. I want ice. Carter rushed through the crowd again and came back sweating with a new cup of soda. Thanks. Oh no.
What now?
This isn't diet. I can't drink regular soda. It makes me feel bloated and gassy. Get me a new one. Pretty please. Carter shot me an irritated look before running back into the crowd, and by the time he got back, the race was over. I did feel a bit guilty, but then I thought about how he must have made his servants run around a million.
Sage is trying to make Carter go away. Do you think her plan will work? It's important to communicate openly, even in difficult situations.
Times, so he probably deserved a little payback. What an exciting game. Too bad you missed it.
Yeah, too bad.
Are you mad at me? You are, aren't you? I made you miss the game. You must really hate me now. It's cool if you don't want to see me again.
Nonsense. I love to see you again.
Why? I mean, wow. I must have really left an impression. Carter inched closer, and I literally stopped breathing. I thought he was gonna kiss me, but then he just opened the car door and asked the driver to drop me at the resort.
I'll pick you up tomorrow, princess. Don't miss me too much.
You bet. What the heck was that? Over the next few days, I did everything to make Carter go away, but nothing worked.
Oh no, she texted the wrong person. Have you ever made a mistake like this? It's important to be careful with our messages.
I threw tantrums over the smallest things, and he patiently calmed me down. I made him wait for hours while I got dressed and didn't even apologize when I showed up. And he just smiled and complimented me. On Vanessa's instructions, I even took him to an amusement park and then faked a hurt ankle so he'd have to carry me around. When he sat me down to rest, I screamed in his ear to get me something to eat. He was at the stall when I pulled out my phone and texted Vanessa. The plan's not working. I've tried everything. The fake ankle, making him carry me. I even pulled his hair a little when I was on his back. He's not budging. Just as I hit send, I looked down and froze. I'd accidentally texted Carter instead of Vanessa. My heart raced as I scanned the crowd and spotted him walking towards me. He handed me the food and took out his phone, but I grabbed it before he saw anything. You're not allowed to see your phone till you feed me.
It'll only be a minute. I think it's for my dad.
You're always on your phone. You never pay any attention to me. I'm hurt, and all you care about is reading a stupid text from your dad. And with that, I threw his phone into a nearby fountain.
Vanessa? Are you insane? What if he has something important to say?
Guess I'll have to wait. Now wipe that frown and feed me.
Eat it yourself. You're impossible, and I'm out of here.
And he just turned around and left. I thought I'd managed to finally get rid of him when I reached the resort and saw him waiting outside with a bunch of roses. I didn't want any attention from the staff, so I dragged him to the side. What are you doing?
I am so sorry, Vanessa.
Sage and Vanessa are stalking Carter. Do you think this is a good idea? It's important to respect other people's privacy.
I was way out of line today for yelling at you like that. Please forgive me.
Haven't you had enough? I mean, I'll think about it. Can you leave now?
I'm not leaving till you forgive me.
Fine, I forgive you.
You mean it?
You want me to get it tattooed?
Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Great. And I ran inside before anyone spotted me. I had to do something before this guy drove me insane. So I asked Vanessa for help, and we sat down and stalked Carter online everywhere. One of his Instagram posts said that he hated water. So the next day when I met him, I pitched the idea of scuba diving.
Scuba diving? Why would you want to do that?
Because it's fun. Imagine the two of us, hand in hand, exploring the depths of the ocean. So romantic.
They're going scuba diving. Do you think Carter will go through with it? It's important to face our fears, but also to know our limits.
How about we explore the test of my swimming pool instead? We can still hold hands, and it's a lot more convenient.
It's funny how you're talking, but all I can hear are chicken sounds. Carter's a chicken.
I'm not a chicken.
Then prove it. Carter reluctantly agreed, but the next day when we were out on the water, he said he just couldn't do it. As we stood there with me trying to persuade him, the boat suddenly lurched forward and we both fell into the water. See? It's not so deep and scary, is it? Just then, I noticed that Carter wasn't swimming. He seemed to be struggling to stay afloat. And then he started sinking. I quickly swam to him and helped him back onto the boat, but he'd passed out. I shook him, gave him CPR, and was about to give him mouth-to-mouth when he opened his eyes and coughed up water.
Carter almost drowned. That's scary. Have you ever had a close call like this? It's important to stay safe and look out for each other.
Oh my God, you're okay.
Wait, were you about to kiss me? I can lie back down.
This isn't funny.
Tell me about it. I'm the one who nearly drowned.
You didn't tell me you don't know how to swim.
I know how to swim. I just panicked because we're in the middle of the ocean. I told you I couldn't do it.
I'm so sorry, Carter.
You should be. Now, where were we? Yeah, I had my eyes closed and you're about to kiss me?
Shut up. Once we were back on the main shore, we went to a cute diner and ordered burgers. Carter spotted a jukebox and played some of his favorite songs, but when I played mine, he fell silent. You don't like this song?
No, I love it. It reminds me of my mom. She used to hum this to me whenever I was feeling low.
They're having a moment. Do you think Sage should tell Carter the truth? It's important to be honest, but also to consider the other person's feelings.
I know I never say this, but I really miss her.
I miss my mom too. Guess we're not that different, huh?
You're way better than I'll ever be.
Carter pulled me close, and as we swayed to the music, I realized he'd never looked so perfect. Under that spoiled exterior was a boy who missed his mom, and all he needed was someone to talk to. I wanted to be that person for him, but I also knew it wasn't gonna last forever. So I just melted into his arms and decided not to think about it. That was until I reached my room and reality slapped me in the face.
Care to explain why you have such an expensive dress in your closet?
It's not mine. I borrowed it from someone at work.
Uh-huh. Then why'd you hide it in your secret spot in the closet?
You went through my secret spot?
Zoe's getting suspicious. What would you do if you were Sage? It's important to be honest, but also to protect ourselves and those we love.
That's abominable.
Who uses words like that? Also, I don't know what it means. And you've been acting really weird these days. Just last week I saw you sneaking into the room late at night. Where were you?
I went out for a walk, Mom. Now, if you're done interrogating me, I've had a very long day. Obviously, that didn't stop Zoe from snooping around, and with time, she only got more suspicious. I had to put an end to everything soon, so I thought I'd go and talk to Vanessa. But her boyfriend was visiting, and she was always busy with him. And I decided to wait. But then one day during a date, Carter told me he wanted me to meet his dad. Why? I mean, don't you think we're moving too fast? We barely know each other.
I don't know about you, but I think I know you pretty well.
Sage is meeting Carter's dad. Do you think she should go through with the plan? It's important to consider the consequences of our actions. both for ourselves and for others.
Really? Like what?
Like I know you're pretty, you have the most gorgeous smile in the world, and that you play with your hair when you're nervous. And when you're thinking too hard, you make a weird face. Something like this.
Stop it!
Listen, please just come. It'll mean the world to me. Oh, and I have something for you. This necklace belonged to my mom, and it'll look beautiful on you.
I don't think I can take this.
I insist.
Carter gently put the necklace around my neck, and I felt a million butterflies in my stomach. The entire ride home, I couldn't stop thinking about how I was deceiving him. I gulped down my tears as I kissed him goodnight, and then I barged into Vanessa's room. Carter wants me to meet his dad.
And?
What do you mean?
Sophie's telling Sage the truth about Carter. How do you think Sage feels? It's important to listen to others and consider their perspectives.
His dad will spot my lie in a second.
No, he won't. I've never met him. And even if I did, rich people have the memory of a goldfish. There's no chance he'd remember me.
That's not the point. If Carter wants me to meet his dad, that means he's serious about me. It'll crush his heart when he finds out I lied.
And why do you care about his heart? Listen, Carter clearly doesn't want to break up with you, but if his dad doesn't like you, he might convince him to dump you. All you have to do is make a horrible impression on the dad. I'm sure you can handle it.
Handle it? I could barely walk in the ridiculous dress Vanessa picked out. I tripped getting out of the car on my way to Carter's mansion. Finally, I saw him waving at the front door, and I felt a bit relieved. But then his dad joined us, and he stared at me with an icy stare.
Dad?
Sage is running away. What would you do in her place? It's important to take care of ourselves and make decisions that are right for us.
This is...
Vanessa, I know. You don't look anything like your pictures.
Yeah, I'm not very photogenic. By the way, it's so good to meet you, sir. And what a wonderful house you have. These paintings and sculptures are really one of a kind. What an exquisite collection. And then I leaned onto one of the statues, and it started wobbling. The next thing I knew, it toppled over and shattered to pieces. As I backed off in horror, I accidentally bumped into a waiter carrying a tray of shrimp and landed right on my butt. Every eye in the room turned to me, and I quickly got up and bolted to the washroom. As I was cleaning up, a pretty girl walked in. It was Sophie, Carter's ex. I recognized her from my online stalking sessions.
That was one heck of an entrance. I'm Sophie, by the way. Carter must have mentioned me.
Zoe's been arrested. Oh no. What do you think Sage should do? It's important to support our family, even in difficult times.
Actually, no, he didn't. Can I help you with something?
Just wanted to see Carter's new catch. And also, there's something you should know.
As Sophie talked, my heart sank, knowing that I'd probably made the biggest mistake of my life. I could barely process what she'd told me, and I ran off from the party without telling Carter. By the time I got home, I was so exhausted from all the overthinking, I immediately passed out. When I woke up the next morning, my phone was buzzing and Zoe wasn't around. I found out why immediately. The police were calling to tell me Zoe had been arrested for stealing. I took a cab to the police station, and on the way, I called Vanessa to tell her what had happened. But her phone went straight to voicemail. I even tried the phone in her hotel room, but she didn't answer that either. I rushed into the police station, only to find Carter talking to the police, with Zoe standing next to him.
Oh, thank God. I was beginning to think you'd never show up. Now, before these people lied to you, let me just tell you that whatever I did it for Mom.
Who's Mom?
Our mom, you moron. Mom called me yesterday and told me that she wants to come visit us, but she has no money for the tickets. I thought I'd pawn your stupid necklace off to help her out a bit. But that pawn shop guy informed this rich guy's family that someone was trying to sell an heirloom with their family crest, and they dragged me here for no fault of mine.
No fault. That necklace belongs to my mom, and I gave it to Vanessa.
Who the heck is Vanessa?
She is Vanessa.
Oh. Sage is telling Carter the truth. That's brave. Have you ever had to confess something difficult? It's important to be honest, even when it's hard.
My girlfriend.
No, she's Sage, my sister.
What is she talking about, Vanessa?
It's Sage. S-A-G-E. Dude, you're cute, but you really have your wires messed up.
Shut up, Zoe! Carter, I lied to you. My name is Sage, and I am Zoe's sister. Carter looked shocked as I told him everything about the ring and how Vanessa had asked me to take her place.
So you lied to me all this while?
I wanted to tell you the truth, but I just couldn't.
Why not? If you needed money, you could just ask me.
Yeah, right. Like you'd even look twice at me if you knew I was poor. And you really have money to hand out? Because I found out you've only been dating Vanessa for her fortune. No wonder you kept putting up with me no matter how much I tested you.
Carter's not denying the truth. What do you think about that? It's important to take responsibility for our actions and be honest with ourselves and others.
Were you?
Don't bother, Carter. Sophie told me everything.
Carter's only after your money. He screwed up a big business deal, and now his dad's forcing him to marry an heiress to save their business. They need your dad to invest and bail them out.
How do you know that?
My dad told me. He's business partners with Carter's father. Trust me, I have no interest in Carter. I'm just helping a girl out here.
And you're just going to believe her, without giving me a chance to explain myself?
Well, is she lying?
No, but...
Then there's nothing left to say. Look, Carter, we both lied and we're both wrong. The only difference is that I lied for my family and you lied out of greed. And I agree that there were moments where I got carried away, but now I'm back to reality.
Sage is standing up for herself and her family. What do you think about her speech? It's important to express our feelings and stand up for what we believe in.
I'm pretty sure you don't care about me much, but if you do, even a little, please drop the charges against my sister. She's the only family I've got. I must have struck a chord with Carter because he took back his complaint and Zoe was released soon after. But the news of her arrest reached the resort manager and we were both fired on the spot, which was fine. I was done with that place anyway. Zoe and I moved to a small apartment and decided to start our life from scratch. We found jobs at cafes, and this time, Zoe stuck to her promise to work hard. She seemed to be actually sorry for all the trouble she'd caused me. And while it was difficult to not think about Carter, I had to push him out of my mind and move on with my life. Then, a week later, I was leaving for work when I found Vanessa standing at my door. What are you doing here?
The night you were at Carter's place, my dad showed up and told me he didn't want me to see Carter anymore. He didn't give me a reason, except that he didn't trust Carter's dad and that he was okay with my relationship with Jean-Pierre and just wanted me to come home.
That's a relief. Congratulations. Anything else?
Here's your $500,000. I'm a woman of my word.
I didn't exactly do the job, and I don't want money for tricking someone.
It didn't bother you before. I guess you must have fallen in love with Carter.
No, that's not it.
Well, that's too bad, because Carter's in love with you. He called me to yell at me for making him fall in love with the wrong person and how he can't get over you.
He doesn't love me.
Vanessa's back with the money. What do you think Sage should do? It's important to consider our values and what's right for us.
He was just after your fortune. That's why he put up with me for so long.
Something tells me you haven't seen the news recently. Carter officially resigned from his dad's company. I think his dad forced him to be with me just for money, and he was under a lot of pressure, so he agreed, but it looks like he doesn't care that much about money now. Oh, he also announced he's taking care of the student loans of waiters working in 20 restaurants in this town. I don't know what that's about.
I don't believe it. Vanessa showed me the news article, and I was shocked. Oh God, Carter really loves me? I have to tell him how I feel too.
But he's moving to his mom's place in London in like 3 hours.
Then we have to be quick. You have a car?
Duh. You think I walked here? Of course I have a car. But it's a little slow.
Seriously? I can crawl faster than this car.
Told you he's slow. I don't care, because I'm mostly on my phone, and you know how rich people are, always fashionably late. Just sit back and relax. Enjoy the drive.
Enjoy my butt! I asked the driver to stop and step aside while I took the wheels and hit the accelerator. I zoomed past the cars, got tailed by the police, but somehow made it to the airport just in time. I jumped out of the car and dashed towards the gates, still hearing the police sirens behind me.
Go! I'll take care of this.
I rushed through the airport, screaming Carter's name. All I could think of was not being able to talk to him and tell him how much I liked him. And my heart sank when I checked the departure charts and saw that the London flight had already departed.
Oh, she missed the flight. That's sad. Have you ever just missed an opportunity? It's important to keep trying and not give up.
Hi. I met Vanessa. I can't believe you gave up everything and you're poor now.
Well, I'm still not poor. Let's just say I have to share my helicopter with other people.
And where are we going?
Wherever you say.
Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our journey through this story of intrigue and love. Remember, it's important to learn from our mistakes and always strive to be honest and kind. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content. See you next time!